Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. And another heavyweight news mashup video today, starting with Jarrell Big Baby Miller. It's being reported by The Athletic's Mike Coppinger. Jarrell Big Baby Miller in Top Rank verbally agreed to terms on a multi-fight promotional deal that will see the heavyweight contender compete exclusively on ESPN platforms. Miller now being advised by rap mogul James Prince. Dimitri Salita holds co-promotional rights. Now, I guess this news isn't necessarily too surprising. There's been a lot of talk about Top Rank in the past few months, and Jarrell Miller, was he going to join them? There was a couple of months before Christmas, it looked like he was about to sign on the dotted line, but it never got done, never got announced. And this is still not official, but Dimitri Salita, just a few days before this, had indicated that Miller was on the brink of signing some sort of deal with Top Rank and potentially could end up on the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury undercard. Although in another tweet, Mike Coppinger says that that's now sort of dragged on too long and won't happen. But someone was going to take a chance on Miller at some point. He had been, before his drug test failures, regarded as a top 10 heavyweight, and he was about to have a title shot with Anthony Joshua, but clearly that fell through for obvious reasons. But Miller, he needs to work his way back now, have a few fights to get himself back in contention. And I know this won't necessarily impress everyone, that he's going to join potentially a big outfit, get paid good money just so soon after actually having failed 3 drug tests in the lead up to a big fight. But I'm sure for any big fights he does end up being in, the opponents are going to ask for rigorous drug testing. And obviously, why wouldn't you? But Miller, yeah, this won't impress everyone, but he was going to come back. Someone was going to take a chance on him in 2020, and by the looks of it, it is going to be Top Rank. And since he failed those drug tests back in April 2019, initially there was a lot of sort of fan outrage, but that certainly has died down now. Sure, some people are still down on Miller, but others are sort of like, oh, well, you know, he's done his time to move on. So we'll have to see what happens with his next fight, but he can't really get past his current issues and the fan perception and start rebuilding until he has that first fight. And he did indicate on social media that potentially Carlos Takam could be that next guy, hinting Takam could be an opponent, calling Takam lunch food. And Takam has actually responded on social media himself. So he says, anytime, anywhere, big baby, it will surely be a bitter comeback for you, and you could hang the gloves up forever after that. Let's give it to the fans ASAP at Top Rank. And Carlos Takam is on a co-promotional deal with Star Boxing and Top Rank, so he is going to be a guy that the likes of Jarrell Miller, if he signs for Top Rank, could fight. I was thinking that Takam might end up being an opponent for Ajit Kabayal this year. That could still be the case, but it looks like they are teeing up potentially Miller versus Takam. And for a re-entry into the heavyweight division, not a bad opponent for Jarrell Miller, but obviously Takam these days, past prime, but still gives it a go, comes to fight. But that could actually be an entertaining one for as long as it lasts. WBC interim champion Dillian Whyte has met with promoter Eddie Hearn to discuss options for his next fight, which could be in March or April. There seems to be 2 options on the table here. Alexander Povetkin, and there's been negotiations back and forth and interest on both sides, but also Andy Ruiz Jr. seemingly is in the mix. And Eddie Hearn has reportedly, and this is according to Mike Coppinger again, made a 7-figure offer to Andy Ruiz Jr. for a fight with Dillian Whyte to be staged on March 28th or early April in the UK on DAZN. And then Coppinger goes on to talk about Ruiz losing to Joshua and Whyte beating Marius Wok on the undercard. But there are conflicting reports about what Andy Ruiz Jr. is going to do next, with some reports out there indicating he won't be back until the middle of the year, others suggesting it might even be longer. But Ruiz Jr. on social media, he's actually sort of put a post up saying, back to basics, who do you want to see me fight this year? Let me know in the comments below. And one of those who jumped to the comments, and you can see here, is Eddie Hearn, who says Dillian Whyte. So obviously Eddie Hearn is pursuing an Andy Ruiz Jr. fight, and that does give some credence to the potential 7-figure offer that Mike Coppinger has reported. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury has thrown out a public offer to Andy Ruiz Jr. to help him get him back on his feet. So he stated, I'll get him his titles back. I've been there, done that, seen it all before. Win, lose, go out, party. The main focus is you realize boxing is the most important thing to you in your life. And actually someone here, and you can see below this comment, did actually say, which titles did Fury get back? It's a good question. Heavyweight contender Derek Chisora has indicated that his return to the ring is nearing, posting to social media, "War is coming." Chisora has been pegged to face Alexander Usyk, the WBO mandatory challenger, in March, potentially at the O2 or potentially in Manchester. And rounding up this heavyweight news mashup video, promoter Dmitry Salita is happy with the progress of his heavyweight Apti Davtaev, who's out of Russia. He just racked up another victory over the weekend against Keith Barr. So Salita says Apti Davtaev is clearly getting stronger and stronger as his career advances. He is ready for a big step-up fight against another up-and-coming heavyweight. His power is something the boxing world should have a look at soon. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment. Loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Boxing_squared. I'm out.